Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a pretty radical thought experiment, one based on the work of Miguel Anxo Bastos. We're going to explore a world that seriously challenges our most basic ideas about what money is and where it comes from. So let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question. What if money and the government had absolutely nothing to do with each other? I mean, we're so used to them being linked, but this whole explainer is about imagining a world where they're completely separate. All right, so how did we even get here? To really get this, we first have to look at how money and political power got so tangled up in the first place. It's like this unseen alliance that has shaped, well, pretty much everything. You see, on the one hand, we like to think of money as, just a simple, neutral tool for buying and selling stuff. But from the state's perspective, oh, it's way more than that. Rulers figured out pretty quickly that it's a fantastic tool for expanding their own power. I mean, think about it. Ever since ancient emperors started stamping their own faces on coins, which is basically a form of propaganda, all the way to today, with central banks stepping in as the savior during a crisis, money has been the ultimate tool. It's how you fund armies, how you buy loyalty, and how you make people dependent on the system. And this quote from Lenin really nails it, doesn't it? The entire social order, the whole fabric of society, it's all built on trust in the currency. If you can mess with that, if you can corrupt it, you can basically bring the whole house of cards down. Okay, so with that background, let's get to the heart of this thought experiment. What would it really mean to totally cut the cord between money and state control? It's funny, almost every single conversation we have about money today, whether it's about crypto or new banking rules, has this hidden assumption baked right in, that there's a government playing referee in the background, right? Someone to blow the whistle on fraud and enforce the rules. But in the world we're talking about, poof, that referee is just gone. The market itself has to do everything. Enforce contracts, stop fraud, deliver justice. There is no safety net, no one to call for help. It's all on the participants themselves. So, what does this world of competing money actually look like? Let's dive in and try to imagine what absolute, totally unfiltered financial freedom would be like. Seriously, with no government monopoly, anything people agree has value could become money. Gold coins? Sure. Notes from a private bank you trust? Yep. Crypto? Obviously. Heck, stamps, corporate tokens. If you and I decide that our monopoly money is worth something, we could use that. The sky is the limit. The author uses this great analogy of a mystic, the Grand Maestro Babu. He can set up his table and offer you his miracle cures, but he can't force you to buy them. And that's exactly how money would work here. Anyone can offer their currency, but no one can compel you to accept it. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. On one side, there's no such thing as legal tender, so you can tell anyone, nope, I don't trust your money, I'm not taking it. Total freedom. But the flip side, there's no government insurance if your bank goes bust. Your money is your risk. It's maximum freedom, but also maximum personal responsibility. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. A world with a zillion different currencies sounds like absolute chaos, right? Well, here's the twist. The argument is that out of that seeming chaos, a kind of natural, robust order would just emerge. It's like the market becomes this super efficient and, ruthless quality filter. Because everyone is free to say yes or no to any currency, the bad stuff, the scams, the weak money, it just gets rejected. It dies on the vine. And what's left? The good stuff. The trusted, high-quality money that naturally floats to the top. And one of the main ways this filtering happens is through the simple power of the discount. Let's say you're a seller. Someone wants to pay you with a note from Bob's brand new bank. You might say, okay, but I'll only accept that at a discount, say for 90 cents on the dollar. See, the market is pricing risk right there on the spot, in real time. And this isn't just some sci-fi idea. History actually has some fascinating examples of this kind of thing. In ancient Rome, you had gold, silver, and copper coins all circulating at once, without a government forcing the exchange rates. Or look at the Middle Ages. The Byzantine besant became a trusted international currency just because people, trusted it. There was even a whole body of commercial law that merchants created for themselves, no kings or governments involved. So the key takeaway here is that a standard, something like gold or silver perhaps, would probably end up on top. But not because some government passed a law. Nope, it would win simply because it's convenient and because people trust it. It would be an order that grows from the ground up instead of being forced from the top down. All right, this is where it all comes together in a really fascinating and kind of mind-bending conclusion. We're talking about the paradox of responsibility. Okay, get ready for this. Paradox number one. Because literally anyone could issue their own money, almost no one would actually succeed. Why? Because the competition would be absolutely insane. Only the best of the best, the most trustworthy and stable currencies, would have a chance. The total freedom creates this incredibly high bar for success. And that leads right into the second paradox. Because anyone could be scammed, with no government safety net to catch them, almost nobody would be. Think about it. People would become extremely cautious. You'd scrutinize every coin, every note, just like you'd check if an apple is fresh before you buy it. Your own caution becomes your best defense. And this is the final, really provocative point. The argument goes that the state, by saying, "Don't worry, we'll protect you," with things like deposit insurance, has actually taken away our most effective tools for protecting ourselves. It's like our natural caution and our sense of personal responsibility have been, well, expropriated, taken away from us. So it all leaves us with this one big question to chew on. In its effort to make our money safer, has the state inadvertently made us less vigilant, less responsible, and maybe, just maybe, even more vulnerable in the long run?